All right, so we've got some really interesting source material to unpack today.
Yeah, it looks like a fascinating one.
Yeah, it's from Texto Colado.
Oh,
And kind of a strange scenario someone sent us.
okay.
And the mission here is to sort of figure out what exactly is going on with this guy, Tom.
Right.
He keeps having these weird experiences disappearing overnight and then showing up again.
So tell me about these disappearances.
Well, it starts with him basically coming home at dawn,
Oh, okay.
and the streets are completely empty. It's like
Oh,
everyone else is asleep. It's like he's in this weird time warp or something.
I saw.
And the strange thing is, he isn't really worried about being seen or explaining where he's been.
Interesting.
He just wants to avoid anyone asking him questions.
So he knows something's up, but he doesn't want to talk about it.
Exactly. And that's not even the weirdest part.
Okay, what is?
His parents don't seem to care that he's been gone all night.
Oh, wow.
Not even a little bit. No frantic calls, no questions when he gets home.
So they're either incredibly unconcerned or something else is going on?
Right? It's like they're completely detached from what should be a very worrying situation for them.
That's definitely a big red flag.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what kind of world this is, where parents wouldn't bat an eye at their kid disappearing overnight.
Yeah, what's their deal?
And then there's his physical condition when he gets back.
What do you mean?
He's covered in cuts and bruises.
Oh.
Like he's been through some kind of crazy fight.
Oh, no.
They even describe him as looking like he's been centrifuged by an evil washing machine.
That sounds rough.
Yeah, it's pretty graphic, and what's even weirder is that the wounds already seem to be partially healed.
So, like, they're older than they should be if they happened during his disappearance.
Exactly. It's like time is all messed up.
That's very strange.
And to add to that, his clothes are completely ruined too, like ripped and shredded.
Hmm. Yeah, it definitely points to some kind of struggle or violent encounter.
And there's this quick moment before he jumps in the shower where he feels like he's not alone in his room.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, it's this fleeting sense of unease, like someone's watching him, but then it's gone.
It almost makes you wonder if whatever happened to him is still following him in some way.
Definitely adds to the overall creepiness of the situation. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So then we get this really weird scene at breakfast with his mom.
Okay, what happens?
It's like she's totally oblivious to everything that's happened.
Really?
Yeah, she notices he's wearing long sleeves, which he's obviously doing to hide the injuries, but she just casually mentions it.
Wow.
And then she blames his lack of appetite on his ex-girlfriend, Mandy.
So she's either in denial or she genuinely doesn't see what's going on.
It's so strange, right? And then it gets even weirder.
Go on.
She asks him about dinner the previous night, and he's like, wait, what?
Because he wasn't even there?
Exactly. He has no memory of being home for dinner, and she's acting like it was a totally normal night.
So their memories of what happened are completely different.
Yeah, it's like they're living in different realities or something.
Okay, so we have weird parents and a messed up timeline.
Yeah, and it's about to get even more complicated.
Right. I'm ready.
So at school, Tom is worried about his friends, Suzy and Rafa,
Okay.
but he can't bring himself to call them.
Does he know why?
He doesn't say. But then Suzy shows up looking pretty shaken,
Oh.
like she's seen a ghost or something,
Oh, no.
and she's immediately relieved to see Tom.
Like she was worried about him.
Yeah, but at the same time, she's really confused about what happened the night before.
So they were together.
That's what she remembers. But Tom doesn't.
Oh.
She starts talking about a bizarre street they were on and a really loud noise.
Okay.
And she says Tom was acting strangely.
But he has no recollection of any of this.
Nope. His memory is basically blank after a certain point.
Hmm. And where was that?
The last thing he remembers is sitting on a sofa with him.
The sofa. Okay.
But then his memory just cuts off.
Wow. So he's missing a big chunk of the night.
Yeah, and we still don't know what his parents are up to.
Right. A lot of unanswered questions.
Then Rafa shows up.
The other friend.
Yeah. And he's pretty upset. He throws Tom's backpack at him.
Whoa, where did that come from?
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like it just magically reappeared.
So even their belongings are subject to this weirdness.
Yeah. And Rafa's all like, what happened last night? It was crazy.
So he remembers something.
Oh, yeah. He definitely remembers. And he's surprised that Tom doesn't.
Okay, so now we have two witnesses who remember something Tom doesn't.
Right. And they both agree that Tom's memory is gone after that loud noise Suzy mentioned.
All right, so what does Tom say?
Well, he tries to explain what he does remember.
Okay,
And it's really out there.
how so?
He talks about traveling through space.
Space? Like outer space?
Yeah, and seeing this golden palace.
Wow, okay, that's definitely not an everyday experience.
And then he ends up trapped in a secret room at some old shopping center.
So his memory is a mix of the fantastical and the somewhat more grounded.
Exactly. And that secret room is going to become pretty important later on.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
But here's another weird detail. Tom specifically remembers the sofa they were sitting on as being silver,
Silver, okay.
but both Suzy and Rafa remember it as being a normal black leather sofa.
So another discrepancy in their memories.
Yeah, and these little inconsistencies keep popping up.
They could be really important clues.
Right, it's like their perceptions of reality are slightly off from each other.
Yeah, very interesting.
So then Suzy and Rafa start filling in the gaps of what Tom doesn't remember.
Okay, let's hear it.
They describe Tom as becoming totally unresponsive on the sofa.
Unresponsive, like how?
Like he's in a trance or something, almost zombie-like.
Oh, wow.
And Rafa says he tried to shake him awake, but nothing worked.
That's pretty scary.
Yeah, and then it gets even scarier.
What happened?
They start hearing this terrifying sound outside the house.
What kind of sound?
Suzy describes it as a roar, like a lion or a tiger trying to break into the backyard.
Whoa, so now there's a creature involved.
Yeah, it's like this sudden intrusion of something wild and dangerous into their normal lives.
It definitely raises the stakes.
And then their memories suddenly jump forward,
What do you mean?
like a fast-forward button has been pressed.
Oh,
Rafa remembers Tom throwing his backpack at him, and then suddenly he's home in his bed.
whoa. That's abrupt.
Yeah, and Suzy has the exact same experience. She sees the door fall down, Tom throws the backpack, and then boom, she's back in her own house.
So they both have this sudden time skip.
Exactly, and they both mentioned the backpack as being involved somehow.
That's a curious detail.
And guess what? Just like Tom's parents, neither Suzy's nor Rafa's parents question their late arrival or absence.
Wow, so this parental indifference is consistent across all three families.
Yeah, it's like the adults in this world are completely oblivious to what's happening to their kids.
Or maybe they're being prevented from noticing somehow.
Right, it really adds another layer of mystery to the whole thing.
Definitely.
So with all these unanswered questions and weird gaps in their memories, the trio decides to take matters into their own hands.
They're going to investigate.
Yep. They decide to go back to that old shopping center and try to find that secret room Tom remembers.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Tom even has this moment where he realizes they've been mostly just reacting to things.
So now they're being proactive.
Exactly. They're taking control of the situation.
I like it.
But while all this is going on, we get introduced to another character, Mandy,
Tom's ex-girlfriend.
the one and only. And she's not exactly happy about the breakup.
Oh.
She's watching Tom and his friends from a distance like she's spying on them.
And what's her take on all this?
She seems more annoyed that Tom isn't more upset about the breakup than concerned about anything strange happening to him.
So her ego is a little bruised?
Yeah, it seems like she's still hung up on him.
Okay.
And she even tries to get his attention in class by sitting where he can see her.
But does it work?
Nope. He's too preoccupied with trying to figure out what happened the night before.
So he's not picking up on her signals?
Not at all. He's in his own world trying to make sense of his jumbled memories.
And what's his theory at this point?
He thinks that when he was on the sofa, he went into some kind of trance.
A trance. Okay.
And in that trance, he was able to react to that noise at the mansion without consciously knowing it.
So he's trying to explain his injuries.
Yeah, but it doesn't really account for everything else that happened, like the space travel and the secret room.
Right. It's a partial explanation at best.
During their school break, the trio's still planning their trip to the shopping center,
Okay.
and they realize it's a pretty long walk. So Tom suggests asking his older sister for a ride.
Oh, he has a sister.
Yeah, her name's Tiana,
Tiana. Okay.
and apparently she's quite the character.
What do you mean?
Well, she's really smart and skilled, but she looks much younger than her 22 years.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and Suzy gets along really well with her.
Okay, so maybe she can help them out.
But when Tom texts Tiana, her reaction is pretty unexpected.
How so?
She's immediately curious, like super curious,
About what?
about whatever Tom and his friends are up to.
So she wants in on the action.
Exactly. She agrees to drive them, but only if she can be part of the investigation.
Wow. She doesn't waste any time.
Nope. She's not just going to be their chauffeur. She wants to be part of the mystery.
His sister sounds like a great addition to the story.
Oh, yeah. She definitely shakes things up.
All right, let's get back to Mandy.
Right. So she's still watching Tom and his friends from afar.
Still spying.
Yeah. She's near the sports courts with her usual group of followers.
Okay.
But they all scatter when her cousin April arrives.
Her cousin.
Yeah. And apparently they're really close.
Interesting.
April's described as being really sweet and studious. Kind of the opposite of Mandy in some ways.
So an unlikely friendship.
Yeah, but it seems to work for them.
Okay, so what happens with them?
Well, April can tell that Mandy's still not over Tom.
She can see right through her.
Yeah, and Mandy actually admits it to her.
Really?
Yeah, she says she's annoyed that Tom isn't more upset about their breakup.
So she wants to know she's missed.
Exactly.
It's understandable, even if it's a little self-centered.
Yeah, April even jokes that Tom must be really good at forgetting things.
Oh, that's ironic considering what we know about his memory gaps.
Right. And then they both see Tom looking dejectedly at his phone and telling his friends that his sister will drive them to the old shopping center.
So they overhear his plans.
Yeah, and April's surprised because she didn't even know Tom had a sister.
Interesting.
And Mandy finds it strange that they're going to that abandoned building.
So they're both picking up on these little details?
Yeah, it seems like they might be getting pulled into the mystery whether they like it or not.
I can see that happening.
Back in geography class, Tom is struggling to stay awake.
Sounds rough.
Yeah, the teacher doesn't sound very engaging.
I've been there.
But then something really creepy happens.
What?
Tom finds this weird sentence written in his notes.
What kind of sentence?
It says, Te encontraré nos teus es.
What does that mean?
It translates to, I will find you in your S.
In your S? What does that even mean?
Exactly. It makes no sense. And the weirdest part is it's written in his own handwriting.
Oh, wow.
Right after a normal sentence about measuring coastal areas.
So it's completely out of context.
Yeah, and he has absolutely no memory of writing it.
That's really creepy. It's like something else is controlling his hand.
It definitely adds to the feeling that something is messing with his mind.
For sure.
So the rest of the school day is uneventful, and the trio meets up with Tiana after school.
Okay.
And again, they mention how young she looks.
Right. I remember that detail.
So Tom tells her everything that's been going on.
The whole story.
Yeah, from the alley to the secret room, the creature, the memory gaps, everything.
And what does she say?
At first, she doesn't believe him.
I mean, who would?
Right? It sounds pretty unbelievable.
Yeah.
She even suggests that maybe he was on drugs.
A reasonable assumption given the circumstances.
Yeah, but then Tom shows her his injuries.
With cuts and bruises.
Yeah, and that changes everything.
Seeing is believing.
Exactly. The physical evidence convinces her that something really did happen to us.
So she's on board now.
Yep, she's ready to help them figure this out.
Okay, let's go find that secret room.
So they arrive at the old shopping center, and it looks just like Tom remembers it.
Still abandoned.
Yeah, the parking lot's still blocked off.
Pretty.
But Tom says it feels different being there in the daytime with his friends.
I bet.
Yeah, it's less scary than when he woke up there alone in the dark.
Definitely makes sense.
So they start searching for the secret entrance.
And do they find it?
Yeah, it's Rafa who spots it first.
The guy.
It's a section of wall that looks movable.
Oh, so like a hidden door.
Exactly. And Tom remembers that it swings outwards.
Okay.
Tiana, being the practical one she is, suggests getting a crowbar from her car.
A crowbar. Okay.
And she just casually mentions that she always keeps one in her trunk.
That's awesome.
Right? It's like she's prepared for anything.
You never know when you might need a crowbar.
Exactly. So Rafa goes to get the crowbar.
And does it work?
Yeah. Tom manages to pry open the door.
Nice.
Suzy and Tiana are pretty amused by the whole thing.
I bet it was kind of funny to watch.
Yeah, definitely a moment of levity in this otherwise pretty intense situation.
All right, so what's behind the secret door?
Well, the room is exactly as Tom described it.
Dusty and damp.
Yeah, full of old metal shelves, rusted filing cabinets, and damp cardboard boxes.
It sounds charming.
And it has that really strong musty smell.
Like it hasn't been touched in years.
Exactly. And Tom immediately sees the mark on the floor where he thinks he woke up.
So it's all coming back to him?
Yeah, it's like stepping back into his nightmare.
Intense.
So they're all gathered around this mark on the floor. And then Suzy looks up.
And what does she see?
She sees a message written on the ceiling directly above the mark.
A message? What does it say?
It says, Vice está sendo acado.
What language is that?
It's Portuguese.
Okay, and what does it mean?
It means you are being hunted.
Oh, wow, that's creepy.
Yeah, it sends chills down their spines.
I bet.
And here's the really scary part. Tom recognizes the handwriting.
His own handwriting.
Yeah, he's certain it's his.
But how is that possible? He couldn't have written it on the ceiling.
It's physically impossible.
Unless he was levitating somehow.
Uh-huh, yeah, right.
So how did it get there?
That's the million-dollar question.
This is getting really strange.
And it gets even weirder.
Oh,
Rafa looks closely at the writing and says the brown, dry substance looks like dried blood.
dried blood. That's disturbing.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
So we have an impossible message written in blood.
Yep, and no one has any answers.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
They're all visibly shaken by this discovery, and they decide to get out of there.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, things are getting a little too real for them.
I understand.
Now, while all this is going on, Mandy's been busy.
What's she up to?
She's parked across the street from the shopping center in her car.
Still spying.
Yeah, but she's stepped up her game this time. She has a professional camera with a zoom lens.
Whoa, she means business.
Yeah, she's not messing around.
So what does she see?
She witnesses the whole thing.
The crowbar, the secret door, everything.
Yeah, she sees Rafa getting the crowbar from Tiana, and then she sees Tom using it on the wall.
Then she sees the wall move.
Oh yeah, she's completely shocked.
I can't imagine.
She takes a ton of pictures like she's a paparazzi or something.
She's got to document this.
Right. It's like she knows she stumbled onto something big.
She's got the proof now.
Yeah, and she immediately sends some of the pictures to April.
Her cousin.
Yeah, but April hasn't seen them yet.
Okay.
But Mandy isn't content with just watching anymore.
She wants to get involved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As soon as the others leave, she decides to investigate the secret room herself.
Wow, she's really curious.
Yeah, it seems like her desire to know what's going on has overridden her initial reluctance to get involved.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Right. But hopefully it doesn't kill Mandy.
We'll see.
So Mandy and her driver, Ricardo, go into the secret room.
Okay.
And it turns out the door wasn't completely closed.
So they just walk right in?
Yep, easy access.
Nice.
Mandy observes that the room looks exactly the same as when Tom and his friends were there.
Still a mess.
Yeah, with all the empty boxes and scattered files.
Right.
And then Ricardo notices something.
What is it?
He says it looks like someone climbed on a piece of furniture.
Like stood on something to reach the ceiling.
Exactly, and then Mandy sees it too.
The massive.
The message on the ceiling.
Wow, so she's seeing it with her own eyes now.
Yep, and she's just as creeped out as the others were.
I bet.
Her driver tries to brush it off as graffiti.
Trying to be logical.
Yeah, but Mandy knows better.
What does she think?
She's absolutely certain that it's Tom's handwriting.
She recognizes it.
Yeah, she remembers it from school assignments they did together.
So she's even more convinced that something strange is going on.
Definitely. But she's also really freaked out by it.
Can you blame her?
Nope. And in the end, she's actually relieved that she broke up with Tom.
She doesn't want any part of this.
Exactly. She's like, I'm glad I got out of that relationship when I did.
Smart move.
So there you have it.
That's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, we've uncovered a whole bunch of mysteries from these excerpts you sent us.
Definitely some strange stuff happening.
We've got Tom's memory loss, the whole silver sofa versus black sofa thing, the creature in the backyard, the synchronized memory gaps.
Don't forget the unconcerned parents.
Right, and the reappearing backpack,
Yeah.
and the fact that Tom's injuries seem to be healing super fast.
And that impossible message on the ceiling.
And of course, Mandy's little spying expedition.
She's become quite the investigator.
She has, right. So the big question is, what does it all mean?
What connects all these seemingly random events?
Exactly. Is there some kind of underlying explanation that ties everything together?
Or are there multiple forces at play here?
And what about that message, you are being hunted? What does that even mean in this context?
Is it a literal threat or something more metaphorical?
We've got a lot to think about.
Definitely it makes you question the nature of reality itself.
Right, like how much of what we see and remember is actually true?
Exactly. It's a great question to keep in mind as you continue to explore these excerpts and maybe even other stories with similar themes.
Yeah, you never know what connections you might find.
And remember, sometimes the most interesting mysteries are hidden in plain sight.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been a wild ride.
My pleasure.
And to all of you listening out there, keep those questions coming and keep exploring the unknown.